Scruffy City Hall here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm Aaron. I am the director of the Secret City Improv Festival, and I have with me this cast of characters better known as
Einstein Simplified.
Yay! We're funny.
That's me.
So let's introduce everybody here in the group, and we'll start there on the end with.
Hi, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Annalee Hawkins.
Jessica Brackeen.
Paul Simmons.
Greg Huff.
Nice to meet you.
Aaron Littleton isn't here because his name is Aaron, and that would be confusing because Aaron Cody Campbell's name is Aaron, and we have a rule of one Aaron at a time. So
One Aaron at a time.
We
Aaron
should have a
Littleton
tennis ball and a stick. And that would
to be Aaron Littleton.
Yeah, Littleton, and we could just put
Yeah.
it in later.
He'll be
post.
added in post.
Yeah.
Okay, then don't worry. All right.
Totally. I'll get my editor to put a little tiny Aaron Littleton in.
Sounds fitting.
His
From
editor,
video.
also known as him.
Oh, so you want a little Littleton? Is what you're saying?
That sounds
Not you want a little Littleton,
Yes.
a tiny, or do you prefer to go with the term tiny Littleton?
Tiny Littleton.
I like that. Tiny Littleton.
Aaron Tiny.
Just hold him closer.
Yes.
Tiny dancer.
Tiny Littleton.
Okay, so Einstein Simplified has been doing improv for about how long?
87 years.
About 25 years.
No, more than that.
It was 1905.
Higher. 1994. 2022 minus 1994.
That is about 25. If my math is correct.
It's
math is
definitely not.
You're
Positively, definitely not.
We know comedy, not the maths.
I don't know math.
She only says that because she can only go what her
I
age
can
is.
only go back 25
We were
years.
we all, except for you, the rest of us all performed in the 25th anniversary show,
Oh.
which was a while back.
Like 3 years ago?
Yeah,
3 years
so
ago.
Yeah.
That's why
I think
we
you're right.
remember,
Maybe?
which is still available on DVD
Oh.
on Amazon.
Would you look at that?
The 25th anniversary show. Boy, that's hard to think of improv troupes that have been together for over 20.
Just go with 28. You can go with 28. It's allowed. You can say
28.
Over 25 years is 28.
Yes. Technically, I did fail math multiple times in high school, so I think that is right.
And if you hadn't failed math, you'd know how many times you failed.
Says the guy who
I've got
counts
10
to 8.
fingers supposedly, so. All right, so you guys, there are multiple forms of improv. You guys specialize in what?
Short form. Short form improv. Or
Yes.
sometimes we call it bar prov. We don't like to call it that because
Oh, bar prov and damn proud of it.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, we started in a bar back
Yeah.
years ago, and this is more of a theater space. You know, it's got bars in here, but this is a definitely performance room, and this room is used for concerts and Shakespeare shows they've done here, and we get stand-up comedy. So, but the short form improv that you would associate maybe with Whose Line Is It Anyway, which of course got its start also in America anyway, around 28 years ago. It was on in England before that.
It was a radio program before that.
Yeah.
Fun
So
fact.
that was that. I mean, Paul was there. He's the founding member.
In 1905.
The rest of us all came later. You know.
Yep. So we started out doing just a little spot in an open mic night, which grew and grew to a regular spot over 28 years ago.
Yeesh.
Didn't you start as sort of long form, like the first show or something?
We did do, that was the way that we were trained, and we started out with a long form thing called the Herald, and as we got more time to perform, then we just adopted the padding on either side with short form games, and then just dropped the long form altogether. Short form is, it's more, the audience in Knoxville is more receptive to that.
It's definitely a crowd pleaser.
It's
Yeah.
a crowd pleaser, and it fit with our performance style, and is stuck ever since then.
Yeah.
How long has everybody been? We know Paul has been in since
28
the beginning
years.
of time.
28 years.
28 years for Paul. That's impressive. Like, what do you do on the what do you get an improviser for their 30th anniversary?
We'll find out in 2 years.
Yes, we will.
He started, she wasn't even a twinkling in her parents' eyes.
How old are
Paul
you?
started doing improv.
I'm 25.
Oh, that's what she
Jeez.
did. That's what she thinks. We only been doing 25 years.
I swear we started in 96, and all I'm saying is that was a good year.
That's okay. That would have been.
You started improvising in
26 years.
1990.
I did.
You improvised in your
Give me a location. Hospital
in your
room.
high chair.
In the womb, she is improvised.
You guys do know I shat the womb, right?
You shat the womb?
I did shat the womb.
I've shat in a room before.
Nope, just shat the womb. That's why I'm such a potty mouth.
That makes
That's
sense.
what my mom says.
Hey, redactor.
I think there's a word, there's a scientific
I do
word
love
for that.
Shatner.
See,
There's a
told you.
scientific word for that.
It's called almost dying.
No, I mean, it's a bad word. So anyway, I'm number 2 in seniority. I have now been with Einstein Simplified for 20 years.
You said that right after talking about pooping in the room.
Well, that's what made me remind me. When she said,
That made me think.
that reminded me of how long I've been in the troupe, since 2002.
Since 2002.
Yeah,
Wow.
20 years.
I remember it like it was
28
yesterday.
minus 8.
No, I mean, I moved here, actually, when I came to Knoxville for my audition, my job interview. The night before the job interview, the audition, I went and watched Einstein Simplified perform at Manhattan's. And I thought, oh, they're really good. I could move here, live here, and go watch them on a regular basis. So I got the job, I moved here, started coming to the shows, and you mentioned auditions. I'm like, I'll never get in, but I'll audition. And I got in.
That's really cool.
Yep. And I'm next in, I think I started 2 years after
Yeah.
he did. I actually tried out when Frank did. Didn't make it that time. Came back 2 years later and made it.
That's because Brad Bumgarner took your spot.
Brad Bumgarner didn't know. Justin Benoit took my spot.
Technically.
It worked
Nobody's bitter here.
out. No, but it worked out. So I've been in it for 18 years now. So
Nice.
Sweet.
And I
I didn't
think
know that.
Tiny Littleton's been in it almost 10 years. Or about 10
I think
years.
we're about 10 now. Maybe 11 at this point.
I remember him mentioning his 10-year anniversary.
Yep, that's
So
coming.
we're past that.
Yeah.
So that was probably 25 years ago.
No, okay, math.
Minus the
Well, good, more math.
minus the 16 months of the pandemic, if you want to take that out.
Oh,
We don't
yeah,
count
that
any of
doesn't
that.
count. That
What
doesn't
about you,
count.
Jessica?
Including the pandemic, I think it's been about 5 years now almost.
Sounds about right.
Seems longer.
I had a 1-year interview and 1-year audition process. So we'll include that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we will.
Yeah, you've been working out with us on stage for a long time. So you do great.
And then Anna Lee, you are the newest member in the troupe, right?
I am new this year, and my name is Anna Lee Hawkins. I've been performing improv for like 2 years, I guess, give or take, 25 to be exact. And I lived in Florida, and I really fell in love with improv down there, and I moved back up here basically when the pandemic hit. And I've been really trying to do some improv ever since. So that's my.
She started
That's
auditioning
my
pre-pandemic
story.
and then came back after pandemic and she's like, she's still funny. Let's bring her up on stage.
That is exactly correct.
Yeah, it's like
It's funny how
you
that
didn't lose
works.
it in isolation. Hooray!
That's got to be a win.
Talk about a long time out.
Yeah. So.
Jessica, how did you get into this? Since we know that Frank saw him at Manhattan's and Anna Lee just kind of stuck around and
Yeah.
Greg hung around also. How did you get in? How did you
More to it than
Greg has a
that.
story. He took a class at Pellissippi with
Yeah,
from
actually,
Paul.
the late Bill Sladen's son was in class with me at UT, and he told me about the troupe. So I started coming to the shows. Me and friends became regulars for like 2 years. And I took a class from Paul, took a class from another guy named Mark Hatmaker, I think his name was.
Yep.
And then I tried out for the troupe, didn't make it. Went and worked for a couple of years and came back and made it the second time around.
Yeah.
But it was like Bill's son Marshall told me about the troupe. Like we had a class together, so.
And Jessica used to come see the shows where?
Yeah, when I was in college, I saw them at Patrick Sullivan's on the 3rd floor. So that was eye-opening for me, seeing that it was real. It wasn't just Who's Line on TV. So I always had it in the back of my mind. I moved away, I came back, and then I worked at a school for a while, didn't have an available Tuesday until one day I came, I sat up in the balcony, and they said, oh, we're having auditions. So next week I auditioned, and it was about a year-long process, but there were a lot of people that auditioned, and it was a lot of fun though, so really got to see everybody's skills.
That was when we did the open audition. We had like
18 people.
showed
Yeah,
up.
we were surprised. We weren't expecting
Call.
that many.
And I was like, we got to divide you up into 2 groups.
Yeah.
I was in that audition too.
It was fun.
Nice.
It was.
Good times.
Huh. How about that?
How about that?
Yep. And then Paul is the OG. How did you get into doing this?
Well, it was back in the late 1900s.
1905.
It started in a primordial ooze.
A lot of things aren't around anymore, like the Metro Pulse and Manhattans and Patrick Sullivan's. So, in those early days, there was an ad in the Metro Pulse that said, "Think you're funny?" A colleague of mine at work said, "Hey, check this out. I took the course," and told me about it. And then I missed the first one, but then everyone after that. So it was 8 weeks, 3 hours every Tuesday and Thursday night. to get prepared for doing.
So the classes were on Tuesday nights?
The classes were on Tuesday and Thursday nights. Our first show.
Is that why we perform on Tuesday?
That's a foreshadowing.
Our first show was actually on a Monday night at the
Oh,
Manhattan's
Monday.
Open Night. Open mic night, where we got 15 minutes. They liked it so much before we stepped off the stage, the manager was like, that was great, can you come back next week? We'll give you 30 minutes. Yes,
Fantastic.
of course we can. Then we did that, and then we came back, and before we stepped off again, the manager came up and said, that was fantastic again. Would you like an hour and open up the open mic night?
Oh, wow.
And we said, but of course. And
Next thing
then
you know.
afterwards, after a little while, she's like, we're just going to drop the open mic night and keep you here. Are you okay with that? Yes, we are.
Was it always a tip jar driven thing from the beginning?
We, believe it or not, we did not even pass the tip jar to begin with until somebody else was like, do you guys take tips?
Oh, you were just doing it for free?
Yeah, do you guys take tips? And like, we do now. So yeah, no, we're doing it for the love of the love of improv.
And we still mostly do it for the love of improv. We get some.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember when I joined, there were guys in the group like Todd Covert, Steve Denton, and Bill Sladen, of course. And Todd specifically used to refer to it as his bowling night. You know, this was his great night out with the guys, and he got to. There weren't any girls in the group at the time, unfortunately. But there have been over the years many. I mean, just this particular slice, and got that feeling of we do this because we have to. You know, we do it for ourselves as much as for the audience. It gives us great fulfillment to get up on stage and be silly.
Please leave the house, boys. And
Yes.
Go do this elsewhere.
Well, yeah, but you know this feeling because my wife is the same. If you don't do it, my wife will tell me you gotta go do a show. Get out of here.
It bleeds out at work. It bleeds out at home.
Pandemic, my wife was about to kill
Yeah.
me. She's like, you need improv. And I'm like, I know.
It's therapy.
That's why
It's
video
very
games was
therapeutic.
my video games during that the Marvel MCU Legoland thing, which is why I'm very familiar with the landscape of New York City from playing that game so often. I think I recognize it. Fun fact: last week when we had a former member guest, that was the first time there was balance of men and women on stage.
Yeah.
3 and 3.
Oh, I think I
first
did see
time
you say
in
that.
Einstein history that has ever
To have
happened.
3 women on stage at the same time.
But they have the same
No, the
number.
balance, the same
The
balance.
balance.
Yeah.
Because we had more than-
We have had
Balance.
3 women on
It's
stage at a
magnifique.
time before, but there were more gentlemen at that time.
Yeah, there were several women
Okay.
who were in the troupe before my time. I mean, Holly was in for a while. There was
Heather, Lynette,
a lady who went to Chicago and never came back.
Peyton Wilson.
Yeah.
We've lost at least 2 Chicago in the last few years.
Yep.
Still.
That means they went on to do improv at a higher level.
They didn't just like pass on and die in Chicago.
Yeah, they loved doing it with us so much they wanted to go to
Yeah.
you
Do
know,
it elsewhere. That makes sense.
the improv mecca.
As Littleton likes to call the late great Walt Brayley. Even though he's still alive, he likes to call him the late Walt Brayley.
Really great. For some reason, that's his.
Travis Donahue went to Chicago too.
Yep.
Jeff.
I love Chicago.
Jeff.
That's an inside joke because they always called him Jeff even though his name is Travis.
Some audience member called him that one time and just
Who do you want to send out in isolation? Jeff! Like, there's no. All right, I guess that's you. See you, Jeff.
So you guys will be joining us in the Secret City Improv Festival on October 1st at the end of our 7 p.m.
Does that mean we're in the
block.
Saturday show?
You're in the Saturday show.
7 p.m.
So you guys will be at the end of the 7 p.m. show.
It's news to me.
But
me too.
if people are traveling through Knoxville, they want to come and they want to check out Einstein Simplified in their normal environment, how would they come about to watch?
Oh, every Tuesday night we perform at Scruffy City Hall, as seen here, 8:15-ish. Every Tuesday night, just come up to Market Square. There's free parking at the market. Several parking lots that are free.
Like I mentioned, it's free admission, but you have to pay to leave.
Yep.
It's right next to Presidential Pub, next to the big stage in Market Square. If you want to know
Yeah.
landmarks,
There's a big sign.
across some stock and barrel and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to find. I mean, you can also Google it. You're allowed.
They have
There's a
good
Facebook
food,
event.
Good
you know.
food here too.
Or go to EinsteinSimplified.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified. Ding.
Ding, thanks.
Is that good?
All right. Well, that's all we've got here because we were doing this after their Tuesday night show on August 23rd. So it's about 10:34
Is
p.m.
today
So
our
it's
anniversary?
Tomorrow is the official anniversary.
Tomorrow
of
is
the first
the
show,
August 24th is the official
But
anniversary.
This would count as it
Yeah,
falls
close
in the
enough.
week. That's the rules according to the Book of Einstein.
Yeah, so happy 28th anniversary.
And change.
It's like I started in August too, so it's almost.
Happy Greg anniversary.
I can vote now in improv.
It's a big birthday.
Well, that's all we've got here. That's all we've got here. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you October 1st with Einstein Simplified here.
Secret City Improv Festival. See you there at the SCIF.
Right.